Hey guys, welcome to the Hindu Editorial discussion of dated 29th of June, and the same course is available in Hindi also in my YouTube channel. So if you at all want, you can go there and see the same. Alright, so let's see what are the news we are going to discuss. The first news is about the paid news. Election Commission is pitching in front of government that the paid news should be added as an electoral offense, right? So we'll see that what are the issues involved in this. This is very important for our exam perspective. Next is new tech old values. It is about the news what we discussed yesterday that European Commission has they have charged Google the global tech giant Google fine, right? So this article is about that. We'll discuss in depth what all issues are. So next is Moody's US visit. We have been discussing this current affairs since past 2 days, but anyways still there are many few important points are there, so we'll discuss this also. Next is GST rates. What are being implied by the GST Council is not conducive at all for the disabled people, because they have increased the tax rate from 0 to 5%. all right, so that's why article is criticizing government that why he has done that, right? So we'll discuss all these things in great depth. So let's see the very first news. This is about the electoral paid news should be added as an electoral offense. All right, so what the main matter of this whole article is that a minister from Madhya Pradesh has been disqualified under the because he has been involved in the paid news which has been and he has not submitted the expenditure thing to Election Commission of India, right? So that's why he has been sued. Now what paid news is, I'll just describe you by taking an example. Say for example, I'm a candidate, right, and I have given money to the Hindu to publish this whole article in my favor, right, and elections are after 1 month, say for example, right? So and you are a candidate on that constituency, and now you are going to vote for other candidate, but after reading this article your intentions changed and you will vote for me. All right, so like you, there are many, like thousands and thousands of people from which I am getting the votes, right? So this is a sort of uncompetitive thing, and now the MP minister have done this. This is a grave electoral malpractice. Yeah, they have just written this point. MP have that man has done this same thing, and apart from this, there is rule that whatever you are doing expenditure in your election campaigning and anything whatever related to that, you have to pay the bill to the Election Commission also. But he has circumvented that also. That's why they have said that this is a grave electoral malpractice what have been done. That's why he was being sued, right? So article is telling that this is not the first time that this type of case is happening. Earlier also in 2011, and Uttar Pradesh MLA was sued for the same reason. All right, so let's see the very next part of it, what they are telling. That article is asking, Election Commission is asking the government that the government should bring an amendment in Representation of People Act 1951 and include this electoral offense as an include this paid news as an electoral offense, right? Because until now, until today, the day when you are hearing this article, what happens is, like, if candidate does such kind of malpractices, after that Election Commission will look onto the matter. They'll take a bit of time, and after taking all those time and all, they'll take action. But if this will be if this will be implemented as a law, then no one will dare to do such kind of activities. All right, and elections will be clean then. All right, guys, the second article is about new technology old values. Basically the issue is also we have discussed yesterday only, that European Union has slapped a fine of 2.4 billion euros to Google, right, because Google has breached its antitrust rule. And I have also defined what is antitrust rule. You can go and watch the video if you at all want to, right? I have detailed it in exhaustive details, right? So this was all about it. The issue was what we had discussed yesterday. You can go and watch it. And the topic is new tech old values, is because they are telling that while technology is constantly changing, all right, it is constantly changing, but the old values remains the same. But now here by old values we mean that, you know, the value of choice for the customer, all right, the competition which is in market going on, right, and the consumer welfare, those will never be outdated. I mean, the government of any country will not let it outdated, and European Union government has proved the same, all right. So this is the thing which is very you know, progressive thing. Now the article is also pitching that, you know, after if Google, you know, pays the fine, then what impact it will have on Google. I mean, how Google will carry out its business worldwide. So this was thing is like speculations are going on that how the business will be carried out by Google in future, right? Now the takeaways for the world is by this, you know, incident is that what will guide the future decision on complaints around Google means how the government of different countries are going to take response on the Google if Google, you know, violates the law in other countries also, right? And how the Google will reciprocally you know, perform its service worldwide, right? Now there's a description given that there's a fault line between different tech giants and government, means there is a line between you know, relationship between tech giants and government, and there is also relationship between citizens and the government and media and technology, right? And the first relation will have a direct impact on the second relation, all right. So this is a very good article indeed. If you at all want to put the few of the points in, you know, your essay thing, then that might fetch you a very good marks, all right. Now guys, next article stands for the Moody US Visit, and there are few arc of cooperation what have been done during the visit of Modi in US. So let's see what are those. They both the countries have pushed for the creation of jobs and growth of their economies, all right, and both have you know, signed the relationship about trade that both the countries will pursue the trade relationship in a fair and reciprocal manner. Means if you know, if the government of US is not if the government of US is allowing our goods to US you know, administrate territory, then India will also, you know, reciprocate the same thing. I mean, India will also, you know, Indian government will also allow the same thing, all right. So it will be fair and reciprocal. It must be fair and reciprocal, in fact, right? Next is US has signed a contract for sale of natural gas. You know that we are you know, energy striven economy, right? So and the natural gas is a very good indeed. I mean, this is a very good source of energy production. That's why they have signed a contract with Indian government that they'll sell their natural gas to the India, and India will be benefited indeed. Next is there is joint determination in which both the countries have pledged that, you know, they will destroy the radical Islamism, right, whatever is being occurring throughout the worldwide, right? And there is also enhancement in the military cooperation between the two countries in the form of Malabar exercise. You also know that Malabar exercise is the, you know, trilateral you know, exercise being conducted between India, US and which country? Just tell me in the comment section below, all right. So a few more things are dealt in the article. It's that the good word of Indian effort to help Afghanistan, means they have, you know, recognized Indian effort to help Afghanistan, and they have, you know, said good about it, that yeah, India is doing a great thing, right? And India is also joining the sanctions against North Korea. What US has put forth that, you know, after the nuclear test by the North Korea, so India is also, you know, have joined the sanctions, means India will also put the sanctions on North Korea, right? And there is also an Afghanistan angle was being discussed, was that means India, we know that India has been pledged for, you know, ending the terrorism worldwide, but Afghanistan is the main focal point of ours, and due to which we have also hosted recently, you know, Heart of Asia summit on that, right? So like they have they in the joint talks, right, it was said that, you know, Modi has spoke for maintaining closer consultation and communication with the US to enhance the coordination between the two nations in relation to the terrorism in Afghanistan, all right. So these are what the very positive steps being taken by the Indian government regarding you know, solving issues occurring in Afghanistan, right? Now there are a few more positive takeaway the article is dealing, is that there is a clear message to China that China should respect the sovereignty of the international law. Means, you know that China's Belt and Road Initiative is passing through Pakistan. Pakistan occupied Kashmir, in fact, right? So India is telling that no, it must not pass through that. I mean, China must respect the sovereignty of the international law, right? So this is the indication basically which has been given to China indirectly. All right, so this is one sort of positive takeaway also for us, right? Because in international platform we have pitched so high, I mean, that we have, you know, warned China that, you know, they must not carry out such kind of activities. All right, then there was one major and very good takeaway was that Syed Salaluddin has been designated as global terrorist. He is residing in Pakistan and he has been, you know, designated global terrorist. So that is a very good thing, very good news for us. All right, now we can do conduct surgical strike on his home also, wherever he is residing, right? So anyways, next is launch of new consultative mechanism on domestic and international terrorist listing proposal. I mean, by this, you know, there was a new consultative mechanism by which from today onwards, between US and India, if anyone is domestic or international terrorist, then he will be treated in different way. I mean, there will be joint consultation, there will be few of the criteria whether, you know, that man appears this criteria or not. If any terrorist fulfill all this criteria, then he will be designated as terrorist, right? So this is a very good thing indeed, because India is affected by terrorism. All right, so this was all about. Next is there was a call on Pakistan to expeditiously bring justice to the perpetrators of Mumbai and Pathankot attack. Guys, US has said indirectly to Pakistan that they must, you know, bring the perpetrators of Mumbai and Pathankot attack to justice, right? Because you know that Pakistan is using very lethargic attitude regarding this. So they have asked Pakistani government to, you know, expedite this thing, right? US has also supported India's permanent membership in United Nations Security Council, Nuclear Supplier Group and Wassenaar Arrangement. So these are all the positive takeaway. We can tell that yeah, we got it from the US, right? And one more thing which was even discussed in this article was that US is going to sell its Guardian unarmed aerial system to India, which is going to, you know, increase the maritime defense and deterrence capability of Indian naval forces. All right, so this is a very good thing indeed. And India is also something given to, you know, US. we are not like that we are everything we are taking from US. We have also given something to them. That is, India offered of support to US observer status in the Indian Ocean Naval Symposium. See, if US is given, you know, observer status in this symposium, then what will happen is, like, the influence of China, what China is doing in, you know, Indian Ocean, so that might be mitigated to a bit extent. So this was all about the thing which was being mentioned in the article, and I've also discussed it with you guys. All right, now there are few unfinished agendas also which I've already discussed yesterday, and those are the same thing was in this article being written, is that HIB, regarding the issue of HIB non-immigrant visas, whatever, you know, US Congress has passed the rule that, you know, Indian personals will not be allowed to much extent what it was being allowed earlier, right? Because they, to save their own country's job. All right, so this was all about, means this issue has not discussed. So yeah, next is climate Paris agreement, after which Donald Trump has, you know, he has walked out from the climate Paris agreement. So after that so the talks regarding this didn't happen between the two nations. All right, so this was all about it, guys. Let's come to the next article. Guys, this article says about how the disabled people will be getting directly affected by the GST rates what are being implied now for the products what they use, right? Like wheelchair, braille typewriter, right? So they will be 5% more expensive, the article says about, right? Because what is the reason? So just see the timeline, guys. In the timeline it said that, you know, while successive government came, they just, you know, changed the tax rates for the disabled people, right? Disabled people in the sense that the devices was they're using, like braille typewriter and all, right? So earlier in 1990s the rate was 30%, and which brought down to 5% in the year 2001, and which reduced to 0% in the year from 2006. But now after implementing GST, the government is telling that they will increase the rate to 5%. All right. Now let's see, all aids and appliances that are disabled people use, like wheelchair and braille typewriter, will be 5% more expensive. I have said about that. Now what the criticism main they're putting forth is like, while the items like kajal, what girls are putting, right, then semi-precious stones, what you are wearing in your fingers, right, those if those stones are just, it is 0% and it is 2.25%, then what miss, I mean, where this, which logic, by applying which logic you are asking for 5% tax rate to the disabled people, right? Because the situation of India as of now is there is absence of accessible buses and even taxis. All right, and in that situation you are applying the disabled friendly modified cars with 5% tax. So this is not good, and article says that government must look into it and take the decision like that, right? So there are few more description about it, that what about this GST rates, that this 5% GST will make the life of those disabled people more difficult. All right, and article is also telling that the decision what the council has made, it has violated the Right of Person with Disabilities Act 2016, because according to this act, what it says is government shall develop schemes program to improve to promote the personal mobility of persons with disability at affordable cost. Just see this word affordable, that's why I highlighted this, at affordable cost, to provide for incentives and concessions. Government is telling that they will provide incentive and concession, and they have increased the tax slab from 0 to 5% for the product which they are using, like braille typewriters and all, right? So where is the justice? Means you people have not done justice to it, right? So government must look forward to it again, huh? And article also suggests that if this disabled people are given liberty, if they are given a conducive environment for their upbringing and all, then they might bring revolution in India, right? Because India must invest in the disabled population. The reason putting forth is, if the disabled are able to step out of their homes means if they able to earn for themselves, right? If they are able to step out of their homes, go to school and colleges, yes of course, and get jobs on merit. And see, just because of these 3 points, I have put the figure of Mrs. Ira Singhal ma'am, who is the AIR rank 1 in civil services examination. On her merit, she has not taken the quota of disability people also, right? So what the thing is written is that it will go to the, and they will they can contribute a very huge to the nation's growth, and what she is contributing as of now, right? So after taking these examples, if the government focuses on these examples, and government must change their behavior. So this was all about it, guys. We'll meet again in the prelims focus news discussion. Till then, bye bye, take care.